Well, last week we got wind that one of the SEC's most famous faces in Paul Finebaum expressed some interest in possibly running for the Alabama Senate seat, and it has now had a ripple effect, it seems, on some appearances that he is supposed to be having on ESPN. Finebaum has not been on his regularly scheduled appearances on ESPN since his conversation with Clay Travis last week. Welcome in, everybody. Southeast Sports Plus, Simone Eli, Gerhard Mathangani, Patrick Walsh joining you. And of course, we will be recapping a very exciting headline-driven week 6 of the college football season. But before we do, we just found out, breaking this afternoon, is this Finebaum revelation. And it seems as though this is ever-changing. Ever since we got this originally came out from Clay Travis of Outkick a little bit earlier today, it has changed at least 3 times since we are now sitting here at this desk.
It certainly has, and just by the nature of when our shows begin, our show begins at the same time as Paul Finebaum said. Yeah. I literally have it up just to see if there was another a person in that chair.
Is it him?
It's him. He's literally on the air right now. He just ran the intro, and now he's doing an interview with Brian Kelly.
And I'm sure the number's really high too, because naturally everyone wants to see it 13. So it sounds as though it's not anything to do with the SEC network when it comes to like his regular show that airs every single afternoon. However, since his interest or whatever it is that he put out there about possibly having interest in the Alabama Senate seat, they have decided, hey, okay, you're not going to be making your regular appearances on other elements there on ESPN.
Yeah, it seems like this is it turned into something. This is just conjecture from the outside. This seems that he talked, obviously, the politics with Clay Travis on a rival network, and then it feels like the people that were there with ESPN and Disney might have not have liked it. They pulled him off his appearances on ESPN, but if you're just a watcher of sports, you saw him on the SEC network. I watched the SEC network when they were down on the Swamp before that big game against Texas. He was there. He did his normal radio show, but it took a twist when Clay Travis put the report out that he's been let go from all of his ESPN duties.
And you weren't really sure. And I don't think he's walked anything back. It just seemed when I first read it, it sounded like, hey, Finebaum is off the air.
Right.
It seems like Finebaum is off of his regularly scheduled ESPN appearances.
Correct. And now it's just taken even another weird turn here, because apparently there was some talk that he was going to be on some shows tomorrow back on ESPN. So it kind of looks like, just outside looking in, there's a bit of damage control.
Yeah.
And I'm literally reading all this stuff in real time. These tweets are coming out like rapid fire and Clay Travis puts this, this was less than half an hour ago. It says, this is a story in 5 parts. Finebaum does an interview with me, infuriating his bosses. They pull him off the air for his scheduled hits. He tweets about it. He, being Clay Travis, tweets about it. I'm gonna use his words. A moron PR executive says it's not true. A moron PR executive tells a reporter that he's back on Tuesday after the immense blowback. So it just looks like you almost have to listen to everybody, almost like kind of listen through their words, not what they are saying.
Well, I think that it's safe to say where Clay Travis's source was from. Paul Finebaum. Yes. I mean, Paul told him. Yeah, I mean, it's not like he had to go very far to figure out who it is that told him there was a shift in the schedule. Right. It's shifting back. We do know, or at least I found this out today, that Paul Finebaum is in the midst of moving back to the state of Alabama, which I guess maybe that was. I didn't listen to the Clay Travis interview. Maybe that was part of what he said, or maybe that's just common knowledge. I guess there is something to do with, of course, being in state and wanting to run for that seat and all of that.
Well, he has a house like in Mountain Brook too.
Sure. But I think that to make it like an official move over, when you get fans riled up down in the SEC, we look at behind anything. Football teams, Senate races, you name it. I mean, like, it doesn't take much down here, because it's definitely sports driven. It just means more in the SEC.
We are right, and we had a great opportunity, Patrick and I, to talk to Peter Albrecht, our main news anchor, last week when this story first broke. And one of the big things that he said, and I thought it was awesome, is the fact that these people are celebrities. It's the reason why you see a marriage with sports figures.
It's true.
And in politics, but this is a little bit different because he's a sports figure, but he's kind of like us. He's a voice outside the sports world, not a coach, not a player. So it is really interesting to see how this one is broken down. And then, like you said, he can't really do both. You can't run for a political office and try to raise, Pete said, in the neighborhood of about $16 to $20 million. You can't be doing that and your radio show all day. So it is interesting to see where this will all go, because he is in this little window right now between 30 and 45 days, is what he said last week, and when he'll have to make this decision.
I mean, I do think it's, we talked about this with several different sports figures, coaches. Think Bruce Pearl for a minute. I mean, it's interesting to see the dynamic between the two, but I think that when you are in the state of Alabama, we don't have pro sports. We have college sports, and the college sports icons of this state and of the SEC become the biggest names in the state. And it might be the path of sports, but regardless, they are the ones that become some of the most influential. I am curious. I want to bring in Patrick on this, because you kind of get ingrained into the SEC a little bit, Patrick, since you've been here. From the outside looking in, what is the thoughts on the Finebaum show and what it is that he brings? Because listen, it's a lot. The show is a lot. I mean, I immediately when I think of Finebaum, I think of course, the Auburn trees and the situation with Harvey Updike, and you know, like him going on the show and bragging. That's how we found out that Harvey Updike poisoned the dang trees. I mean, it's insane. This show is the show, but it drives a lot of attention.
I'm gonna use a very youthful term. He is the greatest rage baiter I have ever seen on any network. I mean, he'll say stuff, and I mean, he does what he wants to do. He gets your attention with some of the things that he says. But I mean, I remember one time, I actually believe it was this year, he said something about Arch being like the next great quarterback. And I mean, obviously we've seen how Arch has played
a lot of
this
people
year,
said that.
But I mean, there are some other instances where it's just like, all right, come on, man. Like what are we talking about here? Yeah,
and I think that, I mean, with that, it also, he says things for shock factor in ways, but then he also just hits play. On some of these people, just the callers, the people that come in, you know, and throughout the SEC, and you know, then it becomes these figures that are on this show in a regular capacity, and so it's certainly interesting. It's certainly interesting.
Yeah, and he's always been a figure that, I think the open to his show, this was years and years and years ago, even said something to the effect of like, hey, this basically our show can get you fired, because coaches will go on, the coaches will have a bad season, fans come on there, and next thing you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it is nothing but 3 hours of them complaining and being mad and being upset, and the heat goes up on his show. There's a lot more voices out there now, so like obviously it doesn't have the same kind of gravity that it did before, but he still has that about him, and it looks like this lightning rod is still here. I don't know if he's bringing this up, or he's just like, hey, bypassing it, just doing a normal Monday show. It looks like, I mean, literally the first 10 seconds on, you saw Brian Kelly's face on there. So
he's just, it's a normal Monday in the life of Paul Finebaum. A little bit of chaos. That's like, I mean, what else would you expect? It's the middle of the football season. I mean, what else would we want? It's October.